Hi there. One thing about having a hobby of using and restoring antique cast iron is the possibility of running into lead contamination. Over the years, cast iron pots and pans have been used for melting lead for things like fishing weights, bullets, and other stuff. And there have unfortunately been very rare instances where a pan found in the wild has had lead residue on it. Because of this, testing for lead is a necessity in this hobby. While the odds of any particular pan found in the wild having lead are extremely rare, it's not impossible, and so I've been testing things for lead over the past several years. While I've never had an unknown cast iron pan test positive for lead, I did experience two instances when the apartment where my godson was living tested positive for lead paint, and just last year, I discovered the vintage Pyrex bowls in my kitchen had a high lead content in the outside coloring. That was certainly an eye-opener, and I made sure to replace those modern-day Pyrex dishes. However, about a week ago, I succumbed to temptation again and picked up a set of dishes with a very unique design. And while I would like to use these dishes, I was worried about the possibility they might have lead in the coloring. And so when I went to get a lead test, I made a new discovery. The popular 3M surface lead paint test has been discontinued. It's no longer available at Home Depot, Lowe's Hardware, or online. So I had no choice but to order a different lead test from Home Depot, the ProLab surface lead test. This is apparently a new test, and it was likely made available, especially because the 3M test has been discontinued. But is it accurate? I'm going to see for myself and test these dishes for lead. So let's take a look at the ProLab Instant Surface Test Kit. Safe and easy to use, instant results, detects lead on any surface, 2 lead test pads included, and the different kinds of things that you can test. Okay, so let's see what is in this kit, shall we? And that's it. Looks like we have I guess this is like an eyedropper and a couple of pads. And that's it. This is all I received. Okay, let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Important note, painted woods, precautions, ProLab warranties, liability, lead surface test, here it is. Complete direction aside, content, 2 lead test pads, eyedropper, and that's it. So this is everything. It doesn't even include a sample of lead. So I guess it wants us to trust them with the results rather than using a sample of lead to actually test it ourselves. Does this mean I'm going to have to go and get a sample of lead? I guess so. I'll be right back. Alright, I went and got an actual sample of lead from our dear friend Wally World, which loves selling products from China. This one is definitely, yeah, these are fishing hooks, sinkers, that have a little warning here about the product exposing you to lead, so this would certainly be containing lead. Now let's get on with the actual test, shall we? Toys, ceramics, dishes, mini blinds, lunch boxes, pipes, and solder. Step 1. Take test pad and moisten with eyedropper by placing approximately 2 drops of water on test pad. So that eyedropper is just for water, meaning that the test is in the pad itself. Step 2. Slowly wipe test pad over all surfaces, including any chipped or cracked surfaces. Okay? Alright. Well, so in other words, what we're really paying for is a tiny little pad here and an empty eyedropper. Okay, well then let's do it. So these tiny things, actually, there are two tests here. So I paid $8 for these tiny little strips of presumably chemically treated paper. Okay, well, let's hope it works. All right, now we are supposed to take the eyedropper, some water on it, and okay, so it turns yellow, yay. Whereas if I slowly rub it against this thing here, you know, for whatever that's worth, I'm not seeing it change color. Now that we've done that, guess we'd better see if this thing even works. Boy, in fact, it's already faded away. So, alright, well then let's take the other one and apply it to our lead sample. And I've got to be careful not to stab myself here because, you know, I'm really not in the mood for that. Alright, here is my presumably lead sample. Let's do this again with the second test. Boy, alright, let's try again and see what happens. Whereas if we put it here, just dab it slowly. Okay, well, it is turning red. Of course, there's so much water here. Maybe I applied too much water, but it's practically washing away. But it is unquestionably red. Okay, so like it or not, I have to say the test works. It demonstrates at least that this plate does not, or the paint I should say in this plate apparently does not contain lead, whereas this lead sample does. So that answers that. Well, the best I could say about the ProLab Surface lead test is it appears to be accurate. On the other hand, man, is this thing ever cheap. There were some complaints about how the 3M lead test was set up, but no one complained about the accuracy of that test. This newer lead test is certainly going to make people nostalgic for the 3M lead test, especially since these tiny little pads are hardly sufficient to test for lead in a typical apartment. So I'm glad that my plates appear to be safe and I will be able to use them with confidence. But frankly, we need a better designed lead test than the ProLab one. So while it appears to be an accurate test, it's not something I would tell you to run out and buy. Take that as you will. Thank you for watching.